Well, hello there. I'm very, very sorry that I can't be there today, but if you look into this, you'll probably see a pretty, sick sort of a guy sitting back in a chair looking at you. So I'm so sorry that, as again, I can't be there. I'd just love to be there. And the only thing I can do is contribute the little bit that I do know of Grandma's Lamb's past, which I think is the main topic of interest of this meeting. And my earliest memories of Grandma Lamb, actually the first memories that I can remember of her was the butcher's cart going down the road. In those days, the meat was delivered 2 or 3 times a week by a butcher's cart. And for some reason or other, the butcher's cart didn't call. And I can remember Grandma Lamb coming back inside saying, "Oh, I tried, and I even tried to whistle." And she proceeded to try to whistle, that she was like whistling up the butcher, but it wasn't much of an effort, so the butcher didn't stop. So I just don't know whether we had sausages for tea or not. But that was my very first memory. But the place was on Grandma's house was on an acre block in Rochester East, and the old house used to be right in the southeast corner of the block, and next door to that, in the 1 acre block, Vic, the son, he also had a block there, and the other 3 blocks that made up the full acre, they were further down the back, which called the back paddock. That was where the chook houses were, and there was a bit of an orchard and a few pepper trees we used to climb, and that's so that was my main entrance, main remembrance, and the main entrance was at the front. Used to run up to the alongside the house, and I can remember there used to be an old sort of a box on stilts or safe sort of thing, standing under a tree there, and there was always a lot of glass, I guess, been over from something. There was always a sort of piece of broken glass hanging out of this box on the side of the little drive, and down the back there used to be a little straw-roofed shed and the toilet down there, and I can remember looking into the shed. Oh, I don't know what age I was, and seeing this big old bike, the penny farthing bike, and evidently Grandfather Lamb used to ride around on this penny farthing bike, but over the years it's just disappeared. And also I was present when they were going through a box there one time in the sleep out storeroom kind of thing at the back of the house, and there was an old box there, and inside it was an old muzzle loading musket, and it was in great shape too. And I can remember it all sort of black wood and brass work, and that looked a beautiful piece of machinery, or a gun, or whichever you like to call it. Equipment.
Yeah.
And it also disappeared. So I don't know whatever became of them, but someone evidently made off with them and disappeared with them. I don't, but where or what, I just don't know. And those are some of the earliest. I can remember our we were living there at the time. We had a dog called Spot, and he got a bait. They used to lay, different ones that laid baits about the town in those days, and he picked up a bait and came and almost died on the doorstep. And I can remember Grandma Lamb, saying, it was hopeless, that it was strychnine and all this sort of thing. And yeah, I can remember that. And another.
So did the dog die?
Oh, the dog died, of course.
Okay.
And I can remember another thing. I often used to see photos of Vic Lamb, of the light horse, and he used to wear a bandolier over his shoulder. And
sorry, what's a bandolier?
A bandolier is a belt that contained pouches that contained two clips of 5 bullets, and I think there was 50 rounds all told that every soldier was issued with, so that there would have been 5 pouches, and I can remember seeing photos of that. And one day I was pottering along, and Grandma had a long rail along the side of the house, and on it was probably a dozen or 20 pot plants or something. And anyway, in behind one of these pot plants, I spotted this bit of, looked like a belt. And I pulled it out, and lo and behold, it's this old bandolier that Vic used to wear. So very much so, I thought, this will be mine. So I rushed around to where Grandma was, and she took one look at it, and she said, "Oh, no, you can't have that. No, that's mine." And she took it straight off me, and it went inside, and, I never ever saw it again until very much later in life, but I just don't know what became of it. But there's just, that little bit I do remember.
So what can you tell me about her character?
Well, Grandma's character, as I remember it, was quite stern, and she was never a gay, laughable, happy kind of person, but always sort of stern and thoughtful, perhaps a little bit on the grim side, but other than that, no, she was kind and generous, and she was, really a nice grandma to us kids. And from my personal point of view, and from later in life, I can honestly say that I probably could not have wished for a better grandma anyway. So.
Nice. So how did she fill her days in?
Well, the days were filled in more or less in those days, like every other person, was mainly cooking and sewing and cleaning the house, because there was no refrigerators or vacuum cleaners or do's or dabs or thises or that's in those days. And I remember you'd go into the kitchen, and then like the kitchen was this kind of big room. There was a fairly big table in there. And a sofa, and but the sofa, not like nowadays, no cushions. It was just a wooden plank, and that was the sofa. And well, if you were lucky, there was a kind of a bolster on it that took the hardness away a bit, but was still pretty hard. And no foot in it, and it had a side and a head on it, and that was about the furnishings of the kitchen, just for the kitchen, and a stool behind the table and chairs, and the walls of the house were wallpaper, which was pretty good for those days, and it was a 2-bedroomed house, and just the 2 bedrooms up one side, and the kitchen and a sitting room on the other, and there was a little passage went up between the front bedroom that was Grandma's bedroom and the little sitting room, which was the other side, and the sitting room was the main thing of the sitting room was the organ, where they used to have their sing-songs. Mum used to play, and Grandma and Uncle John in particular, when he came down from Queensland, yeah, they would sing their hearts out there.
So what did they sing?
Oh, it was mainly hymns and old time songs, but mainly church music. Sankey's hymns. I think I can always remember them talking of Sankey's this and Sankey's that. So that was mainly what was played. Yeah. Anything else?
Hang on.